7.
Alright, what's going on, Diablo 2 fans? Today is a Keep It or Yeet It video. We're going to be talking about belts. Belts specifically. As always, if it makes the list, you keep it. If it's not on the list, you yeet it. If you think I messed anything up, let me know in the comments below, and let's just get right into it. So as always, when it comes to these videos, the first thing we look at is white items. White belts, none. So we move on. Then we go into magic items. Magic items for belts, none. Next we'll go into rare items. Rare items for belts, we have a few things here. They're not easy to find. They have to roll pretty awesome stats for them to be viable comparative to some other unique belts and set belts. But 24 faster hit recovery. You can also get 17. Obviously, the more the better. Definitely faster hit recovery is the number one thing you need, and then just high stats for everything else. You want at least, I want to say at least 20 strength. 15 seems low to me. 45 life or above sounds perfect. And then just close to 30 resistances. Dex would be nice. If you can think of anything else, let me know. But if you have anything similar to this, you found a nice find, and you could certainly sell it or trade it, or even use it for a pretty decent build. All right, and then right like that, we're going right into unique items. So what we have next is going to be gold wrap. This is a low-level belt. You'll find these in normal. They're great for the magic find, obviously. Probably not worth anything at this point, this late in the ladder. Early in a ladder, early in a season, they're obviously worth more, but at this point, everybody has one. But it's always good. This is what we would say is a one of, meaning even if it's not early in the ladder, if it's late, make sure you have one in your back pocket. The attack speed's nice. Obviously, the MF for magic find is nice. And also, you can up them so you can get more, because they only have 3 slots potions. You can up them and upgrade them in a cube recipe in order to give them more slots if you want to, use them in hell. But it's viable. It's worth keeping at least one in the inventory. All right, up next we have String of Ears. This is a great belt. Very, very close and dear to my heart because I used to use it even on my sorceresses back in the day. Damage reduction percentage is the big thing on here, for me at least. Even if you have a sorceress caster, if you have not the greatest belt in the world, this 15% damage reduction will actually really matter. Obviously, you're not leeching any life from anything, but that damage reduction is a huge help if you actually don't have any better belts. If you get a decent roll with, damage reduction, life leech, and enhanced defense, obviously it's going to be worth something trading-wise, and perfect ones go for a very, very high amount of trade value. All right, up next we have Razor Tail. This is a pretty niche item. This is one of those keep one in your back pocket, in your shared stash or on a mule or something. The piercing attack is actually what makes this or sets us apart from other belts. This is the best in slot belt for a Jabazon, even better than T-Gods, which we'll get into later. This is the best belt for them with that piercing attack. Those lightning bolts go right through everything and really clear the screen a lot faster than any other belt for them. Not sure if it's worth anything this late in the season, but definitely keep one in your back pocket, like I said. All right, up next we have Snow Clash. It is a specifically Blizzard spec Sorc belt. It does have Cold Absorb, so that might provide some use in PvP. This is also another one of, meaning, if it's not early in the season, you're not going to sell it for much, but keep it in the back pocket. It's interesting to note that it gets 17 to 19 level Blizzard when struck. That is actually very interesting. If you're playing PvP, you would want a level 19 Blizzard to start happening if you were to get hit, if you were doing a Blizzard spec. So if you do find a level 19 chance to cast Blizzard, definitely worth keeping, definitely worth selling. I know I would be interested in something like that. All right, up next we have Thunder God's Vigor, or Vigor. This is also known as T-Gods. This is one of the best belts you can get in slot, especially for PVM, Players vs. Monsters. The maximum lightning resist is huge, lightning absorb is huge, keeps you safe from those ghosts that shoot lightning all the time. This is good for any class. If you get a great one, maybe a perfect one with 200% enhanced defense, I would say it's worth a lot. If you find one that's just medium roll, it's definitely one of those keep it in the back pocket worth selling. Obviously, there's a worth a lot at the beginning of ladder, but now that we are, a couple months, a month and a half in, I think everybody has one of these by now, but obviously, like I said, one to keep. So up next we have Nosferatu's Coil. It is a great weapon. It's a great belt for melee, physical damage classes, boazons. The life stolen per hit's always nice. Add a little bit of strength. The attack speed, you're not going to find many belts with attack speed. So if attack speed breakpoint is something you're trying to hit, this might be a way to get a little boost for you. Also, a 10% slow actually is a semi-big deal. It's pretty nice. I don't think these go for much trade-wise, but like I said, you definitely want to keep one in the back pocket, if you will. All right, so this is the belt that is the most sought after. This is the only belt that gives plus to all skills. It's the only belt that gives faster cast rate. This belt is the Arachna Mesh, and obviously you can see it's why it would be in high demand. A lot of people do look for high defense, perfect defense. If you find one of those, make sure you check, because it may be worth a lot more than it seems. But it is worth trading as of now. It's still in high demand, so definitely if you don't need it, then go ahead and sell it, trade it, do what you need. You'll get something nice for it. All right, and last in our uniques is going to be Verdungos, also known as Dungos. The faster hit recovery is pretty nice. The vitality is huge. Damage reduction up to 15%. Like I said, the higher the damage reduction, the more value it's worth. Obviously, the higher any of the stats, the more value it's worth. But we're looking like in order of what's priority: damage reduction, then vitality, and then everything else is just kind of a bonus. You'll use these on smiters, builds that do Ubers, things like that, even PvP, just to get just a lot of survivability out of this belt. You roll a really, really nice one, it is worth a lot. So make sure you check those stats to make sure that it's, if it's close to perfect or whatnot, to see if you can trade it. Otherwise, keep it in your back pocket. You'll definitely find a use for it on a melee character, absolutely. All right, and lastly, we are going backwards. We're going to set items. This is actually Trang's belt, and it's a very interesting item because it does add the cannot be frozen factor, which can actually make a huge difference on your build, because it frees up a slot of cannot be frozen for either your ring, or if you have a cham in a helm or a cham in one of your pieces. Now you cannot be frozen just by wearing this belt. It does have a bit of life to it, which is helpful, mana, which is helpful. If you can sacrifice using any of the belts we talked about and use this and end up freeing a slot for another piece, like a ring for a better ring, stuff like that, it's worth keeping. They are in demand. So if you find one of these, definitely hold on to it or try to sell it. Absolutely. All right, and that's actually it for the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned, stay subbed, stay followed, so that you can make sure you don't miss out on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. It means more to me than you know. And everybody have a good rest of your day. Peace, peace.